Say, Rocky, this must be the place.
Toronto has always been a center for blues in Canada. Toronto has a number of blues radio programs, probably more than any other city in North America, and that is one of the bases for some good blues music happening here.
I've been doing the show Midnight Blue for 2.5 years now. I'm not a full-time disc jockey. I do it because I love the music.
Live here on CIUT 89.5, you're now listening to Midnight Blue. Yes, you are. And tonight, I'm proud to present once again one of Toronto's great blues bands, a band that can keep you rocking all night long. I'm going to turn it over to the Sidemen.
Well, when I do my show, and I do a live segment on my show last Monday of every month, I try to present a lot of the great Canadian talent that's from basically Toronto. And like I said, there's so much talent here, either acoustic blues or electric blues. It's pretty easy to find some great blues musicians to get on Midnight Blue.
One of the reasons that the Sidemen are so unique is that they're the only band that I know in Toronto that start off acoustically and then go into an electric set.
When I come to church and I sing for the Lord, I find the most peace. No matter what my troubles are, they're gone away. It's so rewarding. It was gospel, and then blues kind of took off from the gospel. That's kind of the roots.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Where there aren't that many young black musicians that are playing this music makes me feel very strongly about persevering with the music and carrying it forward into another century. You know, we've had this music for a century, and, you know, I feel a great sense of responsibility and an honor to carry the musical jewel that we call the blues.
I'm gonna sing me a song, yeah. Gonna shed myself with these blues.
And I'm kind of impressed by the response that I get. You know, wherever I go, like, people are saying great singing, great music, great band, great guitar player, you know, and they like us. They like us. I mean, we actually put on a show.
If you look at the map of North America, you'll notice that southern Ontario is kind of sucked right into the center part of the United States. And what that means is that we're very, very close to some of the major recording centers that produce some great music throughout the years. We're close to Chicago, Detroit, and New York City. And the music that came out of those cities greatly influenced the music that happened in this city. Not only through recording centers, but radio stations in the United States reached over here into Canada, especially into southern Ontario and Toronto, and the music was picked up by a lot of the musicians here, and I think that's mainly the reason why blues is so big here in Toronto.
The style that we play is basically these days it's our own sound. People can usually tell it's down child when they hear it. I was born in Toronto, and I consider it my hometown. And in Chicago, I've been to Chicago a lot to play, and it's beyond competitive. There's no money. It's really tough to play there. That's why you can see in Europe or in Toronto or in Vancouver all the acts from Chicago. It's like a lot of the Toronto bands that haven't broken out of their area yet. There's no money. You just end up going around a little circle of different places that you play over and over again. So you have to spread out.
Cooking in the kitchen with the chicken fried. The last thing I know, the coffee pan is mine. I messed up. Damn, it was the wrong way. You know I love you, baby. I want you to be.
And our second album had a hit single on it, and all of a sudden we were playing across Canada for till now. And it has its ups and downs, but I mean it all ends up being worthwhile. Well, I've known Mike McDonald for 20 years, maybe more than 20 years. I met him at Grossman's when we first started playing there. He had a band that came maybe half a year later, and he used to sit in with the band, jam with our band.
I picked up a guitar when I moved to Toronto. A big influence, hearing the blues. And Grossman's Tavern was one of those places that seemed to hone in on blues, Delta style. Donnie Walsh, that's where I met Donnie. Downchild Blues Band started off at Grossman's Tavern 25 years ago by playing Saturday afternoons, then playing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and passing around the hat. And Al Grossman was benevolent enough to provide free meals and a couple of jugs of beer. It of all the places I've ever played in Canada, is the breeding ground of blues. Michael Pickett and I were sitting in Grossman's Tavern one night, watching a jam session ensue, thinking to ourselves, why don't we put a record together of this madness? And what happened, or what ensued, was a week, 2 weeks of madness, recording every night of the week and recording jammers. That became Grossman's Live #1. I've been playing at Grossman's Tavern now for 22 years. The idea is to try to showcase some of the people who live in Toronto that are very talented in the art form of blues.
What's great about this is I get to get to set my hours to suit me. I can come when I want to, but I still get to play pretty much the hours I choose anyway, which is very important. Freedom has a price on it, but it's the kind of price I can pay. This is a full-time job for me. I enjoy it. I get very good response and very good feedback from the people. As a musician, I was having to travel a little bit too much, and then work was getting very slow. Some weeks I'd be out of town making money, and I'd be back in town for 2 weeks and be no money. Busted, there isn't a lot of money. There's a little bit every day, if you work at it.
And forgive me for my sins. Don't send no doctor.
Oh, you have a good one, baby.
Don't send no doctor. The doctor wouldn't do no good.
Thank you.
It's all my fault. I didn't do the things I should.
I've been playing at this particular station and a few of the other stations for 8 years now, and most people who work on the line see me very often because this is a full-time job for me. So I get to know lots of people, and a lot of people get to know me on a personal basis, and it makes it a lot easier and stuff like that. And it makes me feel like I'm doing something that they do appreciate. So it's good.
There's a man going around taking names, taking names. There's a man going around taking names. Well, he took my father's name and left my heart in pain. There's a man going around taking names, taking names.
When I first started busking, I'd find there were some times I'd be playing to make money. And I watched it carefully and realized that you play to make money. It doesn't count. You're supposed to play and just be happy. If I go to work and I'm just happy, having a good time playing, I'll make my living. It works for me. I think that's the way it is. I don't know if it works for everybody. I would just like to say that I don't know how long I'm going to continue basking, but for all the people who've been kind to me over the years and who have, you know, request songs and, you know, help me extend with my repertoire and stuff like that, I'd like to just thank them and thank the guys that, you know, that I work in the system with and stuff like that. Thank you very much.
I really don't believe that you understand. Hold it right there, baby. I said, hold it right there,
I came to Toronto in 1968. I was living in California at the time. I grew up in Detroit. Lived in California in the mid-60s, and came up here in 68 because Vietnam was happening, and chose to come up to Canada rather than participate in that. I consider what I'm doing, you know, I consider myself a success, and that I'm very lucky to be working, playing the blues and playing the music I love to play. And, you know, there's no retiring from this. You know, you play until you drop. And I've been able to get away with it for 22 years, so. Well, I met Gene in 1976. I was playing a little coffee house down in Long Beach, California. And he dropped in, and after we tried gigging around California for a while, making no dough, I convinced him to come back to Toronto with me. We'd be playing all the time.
I played with Ronnie Hawkins, Downchild Blues Band. Geez, I've one time or another with most all the blues outfits in town. There's enough work if you work at getting the work. That's what I always say. You gotta get out there and hustle the jobs, and you gotta put something together that's going to entertain people. You know, all I ever want to do is make a living and have fun. You know, and you know, if I can get away with doing that, you know, I figure anything else is extra.
Toronto's been a great city in the blues over the years, and tonight we have assembled on this Wednesday night jam session some of Toronto's great blues musicians. I want you to put your hands together for Gene Taylor over here on the piano, Mr. Downchild, Donnie Walsh on the harmonica, Miss Rose Clay on vocals over here, and a Michael McDonald band. Let's hear it for
the musicians that come up on stage are generally people that just want to share in the event. The evening, each evening being different, it makes you aware of the diversity of Toronto in terms of representing talent, people that come out of the woodwork to come down to a place like Grossman's Tavern and just play some blues licks that nobody else has heard before. Having extra people who want to come up and share in that event, turn it into an evening of fun. And that's what jamming's all about. high in playing music for me is that moment during the course of the night, an evening, or a song where you hit that one note where everybody looks at each other and they go, yeah, we just did it. That one, I guess you'd describe it, that one big note that gives the rush up the spine.
Don't you worry, baby. It's been my prayer. You apologize for the mess.
The blues is the foundation for most American musics, and there'll always be an audience for the blues. There'll always be people want to listen to the blues, and that's what keeps me in business all this time is my fans. You know, it ain't record companies, it ain't radio stations, it ain't managers, it's people. You know, people coming to hear real music.